What's up, YouTube? It's Brian. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about how I run my tank. The topic that I'm going to talk about today is how I've increased pH in my Reef. Now, since I started my 180-gallon tank, I've always had an issue with what I consider lower pH. My tank is in a basement. I run a calcium reactor. There's very few windows down there. The furnace, hot water heater, the washer, the dryer. Add all that up, and you'll see why my pH tends to be lower. My pH range is 7.7 to 8.0, and if people are over at my house, if my daughter's home from college, my pH could go even lower. Now, acceptable range in pH for a Reef is about 7.8 to 8.5 if your alkalinity is 7 or higher and your calcium is 400. So my range is kind of in that range. It's okay. But I also know that if I was to raise my pH a little bit higher, it would help my stony corals to create their skeletons a little bit better from the elements in the water, therefore increasing my growth. I also know that pH is an indication of oxygen and CO2 levels in the water, and it's also an indication of photosynthesis and respiration in a tank. So if I was to increase pH, in turn, once again, more oxygen in the water, more calcification, faster coral growth. Now, a lot of people go about increasing pH the wrong way. They add buffers to the water. Typically, these are, variations of baking soda or baking powder. And not only does that raise the pH in the tank, it will also raise alkalinity. That's going to mess up your Reef chemistry, and then you'll have all kind of other problems. So, number one, I avoid increasing my pH that way. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough room, or I haven't built an algae scrubber to increase my pH. So this is a good way to increase pH. I just haven't done that yet. Maybe in the future, I don't know, but an algae scrubber is kind of low on my priority list. So how did I raise my pH? The first thing I did is the easiest. I opened a window. Now, of course, I don't like having windows open in the house all the time, so this wasn't the best solution for me. Plus, my windows in my basement are small, so that really didn't help out a lot. The second thing I did is I ran a tube from the air intake of my skimmer all the way up to the ceiling, across the room, over into my laundry room, and out of the house through a hole in my wall. Now, this did work a little bit, but it didn't give me the boost in pH that I wanted. One reason is that this tube run is huge. It's a very long run, and it kind of loses its effectiveness if your run is large. So that way didn't work. It worked a little bit, but like I said, it wasn't to where I wanted my pH to go. The third thing I did is I got a BRS Co2 scrubber, and I filled it with the BRS color changing medical grade CO2 absorbent media. Now, the cost for the scrubber was $34.99, and the media that runs in it is $49.99. So this was an expense in order to run my tank. But the media lasts for about 7 refills. It would normally exhaust the media in about 4 to 7 days, depending on how many people were there. So this is an added expense to my tank. Now, I didn't want that added expense, but I want the added growth that I believe this will give my SPS corals. So for right now, I'm okay with that until I finally put in a algae scrubber or some other type of pH increasing system. Now, there's another place you can get the CO2 media from. It's called Shop Med Vedic, and that is $36.85 for 9 pounds, which is about the same amount of weight that the BRS media provides you. So that's how I increase my pH. Like I said, it worked for me. Fortunately, it is an added cost to my reefing, but it is what it is. Well, thank you for watching the video, YouTube. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Happy reefing, y'all.